Hey, what's up guys? Kyle here from Backcountry Adventure Motorsports, and I just got done doing an oil change video, and if you saw that, I did a complete oil change on the bike, and I thought now would be a really good time to put on my new AltRider Skid Plate. I just got it in the mail the other day, and here it is. I'm in the desert at Quartzsite, Arizona, doing a little bit of boondocking, and thought this would be a really good time to do it. So what you need here is two 14mm wrenches, a 12mm wrench, 12mm socket, 5mm hex head, 6mm hex head, some thread lock, ratchet, and everything here. Here's your instructions. It kind of lays all that out for you. It also comes with the hardware in this little bag here. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is just remove the two bolts here and this bolt here. I already have them really loose because, like I said, I just got done doing the oil change. We'll go ahead and finish removing those and see what the next step is. Bolts here. And apologize in advance for the wind. If the audio turns out to be kind of crap on this, then we'll just do a voiceover. It's already pretty loose, so we're gonna pull this one out. And remember, on the stock plate, there's this little tab that this pulls off. Comes right out. Alright, so because I have the Touratech Crash Bars, the way I did it was I put the skid plate mounting bracket against the frame, then the Touratech Crash Bar, and then the factory plate went there for the holder here. Now on the other side, there is this bolt right here. Now that bolt needed to come out, or this nut needed to come off. The grommet from the original plate goes into the bracket and goes and slides back over that little peg on the frame, and then this nut goes on. Now that nut is about as tight as I can get it, and it's not threaded all the way through. And I put some Loctite on it, but this is a flaw, I think, personally, in not AltRiders, but in Touratech's crash bar system, because even with this bracket not being on, it was a very similar situation. So I, in some ways, have been kind of disappointed with some of the Touratech stuff, and will probably eventually switch over, but we're going to continue on with this mounting process. From here, it's really simple. The skid plate is going to mount up, and with the bolts provided, you put the 4 in the bottom and the 2 in the front, and I'll show you that here in a second. Alright, well, I got the factory skid plate back on. It's pretty unfortunate that that skid plate does not fit with these crash bars, but all things happen for a reason. So I've actually been thinking about doing away with these Touratech bars and going with the AltRiders. And here's for a couple of reasons why, and this is just for if anybody out there is wondering, Touratech about the Touratech Crash Bars. If you look right here, I'm not sure you can see it in the light or not, but you can see where when I laid this bike down, this is actually compressed up against this case and made a mark. That worries me because you know, if you were to hit that hard enough, it would crack the case. The clearance there is very, very small. The next thing that kind of bothers me is if you look real close right here, you will see some pitting and some rust. And these are stainless steel, and I'm really surprised with only having these on a few months how they've already started to rust. Kind of a bummer. I don't necessarily like how they mount to the frame here. They kind of use this sandwich system, which you know, it's okay, but it's just been, I've noticed some movement. And if you look right here, these are very, very tight, the bolts are, and there is quite a bit of movement there. Also, if you look here, there's a little bit of movement and bending there. And I've had to tighten these, even though I have Loctite them, I've had to tighten them a couple times. Same deal, if you look here, there's a little bit of movement there also. And I've time and time again, I've gone through and tightened these up. And same deal on the other side. They just, one of the biggest things I don't like is on the bottom, this bracket here, it sandwiches between bolts. It's open on the bottom, and it just slides down in there and sandwiches. If you were to take a hit coming up this way, and if you look, I have several scratches here. Take an upward hit, that bar could pop right off, and you know that would force it into here. And if you crack this case, dude, you're done. I mean, it's just that's a huge spendy, very, very spendy fix. But you know, you can see I'm not moving these hardly at all. And yeah, I mean, I've been somewhat happy with them. I've dropped the bike more than anybody normally would that drives back and forth, you know, on the road. But I ride this bike for what it's made for. I ride it off road every time I take it out, and the many times I've dropped it, they're starting to definitely show wear. So anyway, in conclusion, the AltRider Skid Plate does not work with the lower crash bars from Touratech. But, you know, like I said, I've already been thinking about switching anyway, just because of some of the flaws of the Touratech stuff. The reason I went with the Touratech was because they were really the first people that came out with some protection, and I bought this bike as soon as it came out, so I wanted something on it because I knew I was going to be riding it hard. I have been, for the most part, happy with Touratech, but I think for the long run, they're not going to last, so I want to switch to something that I have a little bit more confidence in, and I think the AltRiders are a little bit better built. So stay tuned for the videos in the future of me switching over to AltRider. And if you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up and in the comments on YouTube. And also, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Sorry for the wind noise. Kyle from Backcountry Adventure Motorsports. I'm out.